So this is inspired by a viewer's question, and he asked me how to not trust what you see in front of you, but how you trust in the unseen and keep going without getting triggered or frustrated or believing in your 3D too much. You can see all things that are happening in the 3D around you as a part of the unfolding and as a part of the bridge of incidents. And that's how I do it, and whenever I do it, things manifest pretty quickly. So what I want to emphasize here is that all ways lead to Rome. For example, you should not hear or see or believe any of your 5 3D senses. You should just feel from inside. Don't take anything that's coming from outside as a serious thing, because this is just a reflection of the inside. So everything external can be dismissed, and everything internal will absolutely lead to a reflection on the outside sooner or later. We can never know exactly when a manifestation is coming, so the best way to manifest, in my opinion, is to not think about time at all. The less you think about time, the faster things manifest in most cases. But even if it takes a while, and even if that's months, don't get discouraged, because things will still manifest. And to know that all ways lead to Rome is very, very important, because even if something on the way happens that looks like there is no movement at all, or even if something looks like the opposite, like a seemingly bad thing happening, then you can still know that that's a part of the unfolding, and that's what ultimately leads you to your favorite manifestation, to your favorite outcome. So whatever happens, just forget about it and stay in your inner knowing and trusting. I think the best way to trust the unseen is to just know that whatever you are manifesting is coming next, or is coming very soon, and that everything that happens on the outside, even if it looks like there is no movement, or even if it looks like the opposite is manifesting, or something seemingly bad is manifesting, that you can just see it as a part of the bridge of incidents. And with several manifestations for me that actually happened, that was some hot and cold behavior with my SP, for example, and then it turned out that everything was fine in the end. And it was that way because I knew that everything in between was just a part of the bridge of incidents. With many manifestations of mine, it seemed like there are some kind of obstacles, but whenever I knew and trusted that it's just part of the unfolding, then the things manifested sooner or later. Sometimes it can take like hours, sometimes it can take weeks, and sometimes it takes months, but never get discouraged, because time doesn't matter at all. It's a man-made concept. Everything is happening right now. This moment right now is all that you actually have, and you should focus on it. Everything that you manifested in the past, don't beat yourself up over it, because it doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant. It's not at all related to what you can manifest from now on. So even if something seemingly bad happens, it doesn't matter, because you can manifest something better anytime that you really focus on what you actually want to experience, and don't let any of the 3D bullshit distract you. I think you should really always think about that. Your manifestations are inevitable. Everything that you want is inevitable. It will happen sooner or later. Just always trust that. And even if you cannot always stay in the state where you experience it right now, it's also okay if you just be in the trust and in the knowing that it will happen very soon, or that it's already sure and already decided, and it will come exactly the way you wanted it, or maybe even something even better. Actually, this video was inspired by a viewer's question, and he asked about how to manifest weather changes when you don't see an immediate change. I think this applies to every manifestation though. the sooner you want something to change, and I assume that the weather is something that you want to change quickly, the more tricky it is. And I think you should really not think about time. And whenever you see something in your 3D that is not exactly what you want, then just know that what you want is coming soon after that. So just trust it. Some circumstances are easier to ignore than others, but I think you can still ignore everything. And I don't mean like ignore in a way that you don't even see it. I mean ignore in a way that you say, okay, this is old news. I don't care. What I manifest is coming for sure, and I know that all ways lead to Rome and that my manifestation is inevitable. So whenever I did that, things manifested pretty fast, sometimes within weeks, sometimes even within days. My newest example with my SP is where I knew it's gonna happen, and no matter how long it takes, it will happen, and I visualized and stuff, and then exactly what I wanted happened just 2 days later. I think this is a very powerful teaching that you can really use to your advantage. Make use of it, apply what you learned. Just watching videos does not give you any result. You really have to apply what you learn. You will not get any results from just reading or watching or listening. You really have to put in the focus and the knowing and the trust. Trusting the unseen is actually quite easy if you think about it in a way of everything that happens on the way is just a part of the unfolding. You can easily believe in that, do it, and just stick to it. Don't see with your eyes and don't listen with your ears, with your physical body, but instead feel from the inside. That's all that matters. That's what manifesting is. It seems weird, it seems illogical, and it seems very spiritual at some point, but actually manifesting is spiritual. And if you can relax in that knowing and in that trust, that's kind of similar to a steady meditative state. And whenever you drop out of it, you catch yourself and remind yourself and go back to that feeling and that knowing that your manifestation is coming anyway, no matter what's happening on the outside. Dismiss everything that's external, focus on the internal, focus on feeling and accepting your manifestation as the truth, and this will lead to your favorite outcome. If you stick to the truth, nothing can go wrong, and your manifestations will happen sooner or later. At this point, I want to remind you that feeling does not necessarily mean a strong emotion or any emotion at all. It just means to know and to trust that this is the truth. And even Neville Goddard himself said that. In case you missed it, you can watch my previous video where I talk about this a little bit more. Apply it and maybe even watch this video multiple times or every day whenever you feel like you're gonna drop out of that state. If you drop out of that trust and the knowing, then watch it again to get reminded of your power, and that trusting the unseen is actually really easy. Thank you so much for being here and watching. As always, please leave a comment if you have any questions. I am very happy to answer them. Have a great night or day wherever you are. Happy manifesting, and see you next time.